Hello and welcome. This is the Tiffany's Fitness Podcast. My name is Tiffany, and today's guest is the excellent John Miller. You may know him as at House of Clubs _ on Instagram. He is awesome, and he was also the very first person to ever do kettlebell juggling at the Arnold's. He's great, and we have a really fun conversation, so I'll let you get into it.
Yeah. How long have you been coaching for?
Kettlebell stuff?
I think so. How'd you
Uh,
start?
you don't got that much time.
We got all the time.
All right. So let's tell the short version. So I originally did body weight stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a lot of CrossFit, and I ruptured my God, before that, backwards. So I got a hip replacement.
Oh wow.
Back in probably it's coming up on 11 years now. So then I figured I can still go. So I came back. I can still lift heavy and stuff like that. And then I ruptured my patellar tendon doing clean and jerks at a CrossFit gym. Which, I mean, it was time. It was going to happen no matter what. Yeah. And I pretty much said no more weights because that was it was the worst injury ever. I mean, it was horrible.
And you had a hip replacement, and that was the worst injury.
Wow. Yeah, my patellar tendon was much worse.
Yeah, that's wild.
The recovery was so not fun. So then I started doing body weight stuff because it's safer because you can control. There's no danger involved, I guess we'll say. And then it turned into acro yoga.
Oh, cool.
And trapeze and silks and stuff like that.
That's rad.
Yeah, so then I did that, and then pirouettes, and then it turned into how to get to kettlebells and maces. So COVID happened.
Yeah.
I needed something to do with my brain, and that's when I knew I did kettlebells before, but never
not the way that you do them now.
No. So because I can't run, I can't jump, so I fancy myself as the master of conditioning in a square. So if I can do it without jumping and running, then I can win. So that's because I can't do any of the two. So that's what I try to give people that can't run or jump. So you can do it. You got to go. Just you need a square. You got a square. You're done. There's no. And that's it. So that's the
perfect.
So anything, yeah. So anything that involves that, I try to find a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
there we go.
And how did you find juggling in sport, that sort of lifting?
Rotation leads to other things. You know how that works. Ooh, how are you doing that? That's rotating. How do you do this? So you want to find out. But I try to put I'm trying to put if I can do a muscle up, how come I can't swing a heavy kettlebell? If I can do a kettlebell, how come I can't do that? So you want to how come that string doesn't work for this or vice versa? And it's still hard to figure out why something don't apply to other things. And that's kind of what I'm trying to see.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Are you training for anything at the moment? Are you going to the competition?
It's gonna be hard. I didn't realize it's gonna be hard. I got a lot happening, but I didn't realize that's a lot of travel.
It's a lot of travel. Yeah, I'm trying to figure. I don't know where I'm going to be living at that time, so I can't plan a flight from anywhere.
Yeah,
we're in a transitional year right now, so in theory I'll be in a different place at that point. So I was I can't just buy a plane ticket at the moment because I might not be flying out of Denver. I might be flying out of, I don't know. I don't want to say anywhere and jinx anything, but
right,
because it's cool. How did you prepare for the competition, or how did you get into the Arnold's competition? How did you find that and get juggling in that?
A point. It was on there, but it was it was on the list of things, but they're probably who's going to look there for juggling? I was looking for a kettlebell sport competition.
Yeah.
At the time, and I saw it on the list of stuff. I said, "Well, they have that there," so I said, "Let me see what it's about," and that's what it turned into.
Cool.
So then here I am. So that's with that, hopefully, next year it'll be bigger here. Because now the word's kind of out there, we had one out the way, so now we can just get more people to kind of show
Yeah.
up.
How many people showed up for it?
The
It was just
juggle,
you and Steph.
that
Yeah,
was it.
just you and Steph.
But it was the
That's
perfect,
so
like,
cool.
it's nervous. I was like, whoa, people are looking like you're gonna do that? Like, yeah, it's really it was humbling.
Yeah, yeah, but that's cool that you got to be like the first like juggler at Arnold.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah, that's cool.
that's an achievement. You can write that one down in
Right.
the achievement log, right? Like that's a cool that's a cool one to have done. Um, 'cause it was a good flow too. It looked like a good sequence of moves.
You had to
How
slow
do
it down.
you? Oh, go ahead. What was
Good.
that?
Nothing good.
Oh, how did you like come up? How do you come up with? How do you come up with that sequence? But like, how do you generally come up with the sequences that you work on when you're juggling?
Coach.
Coach, who's your coach?
Right now it's the Leonid Leon,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
kettlebell juggler. The
Yeah.
kettlebell juggler. At the time it was Alex.
Oh.
Start with the P. He was the world champ before. It was him. I had Oksana, and then I think I found the kettlebell juggler, and then Alex, because we couldn't pay Russia, but it's still kind of hard to do. And then now back to him again. So
No, Russia. Not paying Russia is tricky. That's where all the jugglers are. It's like
right. It's weird. Like that's the mecca.
Yeah, because that's where my belt I got from Russia. It took so long, and that was before all of the shenanigans that were happening.
Oh yeah.
This one, like my little elevator belt, like I have like a little, it came from Russia, had all the fancy stamps and whatever, but it took forever. And honestly, I don't know that it would come through at this point. Like
Right.
I think what was that?
It'd be hard now. I don't know if it would make it.
I don't think it would. I think they probably are making the belt somewhere else now because especially because I live on a military base, I really doubt that it would ever have made it to me here.
No, like a
no. They would have. I would have been called in somewhere. People would have been mad. Like, yeah, it would have been. It would have been a thing. It already takes so long for my mail to get here. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine if I tried to order something from a country we're mad at.
Yeah, you never get it. Like it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. It's maybe it'll come. Maybe not. We'll see. Maybe it will.
2 years later, like I'm gonna order that.
Yeah, now I'm moving. So, so how often do you train like juggling specifically?
Every day, every other day. I try to do something to offset it. Like I do like juggling and something else, or juggling and something else. Just try not so I don't get hurt, or I guess that's a lot of like the
you got to create the balance because
the whiplash is like catch the bell. It's aggressive.
Yeah, I think people like underestimate. I think people, it was a weird mix of under and overestimating kettlebell juggling. Like they're like it's so dangerous. And I was like, yeah, but we're all like very prepared. Like all of the people at least people I know who juggle, we're all training like smart to be good at juggling. Right. like we're not just juggling. We're doing other things to prepare. And none of the jugglers are just like started out doing the sequences and the flips that they see on Instagram.
No.
It's like I've been doing juggling on and off for a while, and it's you can see my old videos where I'm just like just tossing the bell back and forth hand to hand, like no flips or anything when I was learning, and that was years ago, and I had to build up to doing the weird shit that I like to do now.
Right, it's a process. Mm-hmm. Like big time.
It's not. Yeah, and it should be. Like it should. It'd be insane for someone to just pick up a bell and.
Dude, it just seems like there's no way. Like it's a.
Because you have to be able to do like all the prerequisite things. Because you have to know like when the bell will float and how to like insert your hand into a snatch, so you can know when you can do all the other flips and things. So it's not just not just, it doesn't, I mean, it looks cool, but like it's not that it just looks cool.
Right. It's hard.
There's a very athletic component to the lifts that we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like sequence your music? Do you like just have sequences set and then you like sync them up to the music that you pick, or is it like vice versa for you?
It's always just like it's a song in my head. This is the one. Like I can like there's always something I can put with the complex for the day is. They can kind of find a song to fit it. I try. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's
but
really fun. Yeah,
messes me up.
It messes you up. Do you juggle in silence?
No, because I think the noise makes you like speed up. Like no, slow down. So if it's a slow song, I'm good, but too fast makes you want to like, and it doesn't.
You do like a little bit more of on the slower ends of like the old like jazzy like rendition songs more than
because I juggled with Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that. Wasn't it My Way?
So it's very. There's no big highs. Okay, and you kind of it's long as you know where you're at in the song. Okay, I should be here. You can kind of keep up, not go because like raw, like dude, you ain't throwing nothing that hard, so I don't even. Yeah.
That's like the opposite. I usually find the song and then try to set the moves to the song.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I also I'm not juggling like you're doing like very like you're doing competition style juggling and I'm vibes. I'm mostly vibes. Like because that's not like my main training thing at this point. Like it's just something I like to do. And also it's nice and it's fun and like I get to like not have to like do the same boring stuff because I love bench pressing. I love sport like snatching and stuff, but it's the same thing over and over and over again. So it's nice to get to move however I want to move. It's either go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying it's either like I find a song or I hear it during the week and I like kind of like think of things that would look good to it, or I find a section of the song, or I think of a move or combo that I want to do and I like build it out from that move or combo, and then I like throughout like my juggling day, like my hour or two that I'm outside messing around, I like will find a song that clicks. Like I'll just listen to some random playlist and I'll find a song and I'm like, oh, like that's the section. That's the spot. This 30 seconds. There we go. And then I re-listen to that over and over and over again until I make it sync up right.
I got it.
And then and then it's always a bummer if I like go on Instagram and then it's not available in the library. I'm like, no, now I have to start over again.
They're like, oh, I wanted to hear that. Like, no, you didn't. So you won't. Yeah, that happened a couple times. I had a song in my head like, this is the one, but it wasn't the song because it wasn't available.
It wasn't available. Yeah, every now and then it's like, no, wait, I did a good thing. I figured it out, and then it's not.
Right.
It's not there. So are you training any like regular like sport lifts at the moment?
No. So I messed my elbow up coaching wrestling. So I've been able to snitch on my left side because it's like I trying to stop a kid from dropping and I end up hurting myself. So I haven't been able to like really snatch it all since right before the Arnold. So I wanted to do one in July here. They have like something national something, but I don't think I won't be able to do it because my elbow won't act right yet. So I can like catch it with the left hand a couple times, but then it's like, oh, they just want it like it's tendonized.
Does the juggling feel okay on it?
Well, it's only one throw, and I can like you can kind of catch it bent arm where I can kind of control it, but I couldn't do it for volume like sport. There's no way. I mean,
not for it. The volume really like keeps you in check. If there is something wrong, you will find out very quickly when you're doing sport. Because after you can kind of muscle through like a minute, but after that, if there's some technique things.
So listen, at the Arnold, there was a guy there. He did a one arm 24 kilogram snatch with one arm because he broke his other arm prior to that. So he did one arm the whole 10 minutes. It was incredible. I said, he's going to die. There's no way. I said, why is he changing hands? He's not changing hands. Like, change your hands, dude. He was like shaking. like holding over top of it, but he just powered through it. I was like, holy smokes. I mean, 10 minutes on one hand with no rips, no tears, and kept going. And he did a really, I mean, it was probably, I want to say rank 2 or rank 1 with the reps. It was incredible. Oh, it was insane.
Strong. I that's like also like just physically strong, but like mentally, that is like really strong to like be able to push through. Like that's like, I think that's another aspect of sport that I love so much, is that like it really like mentally like create you have to be mentally strong, because your brain does not want to do 10 minutes of any of that. It's really hard. So you have to talk your brain into it, or not let your brain talk you out of it in the middle of a set. So like doing 10 minutes on one arm seems physically, mentally.
It was insane.
So insanely impressive. I don't think I had when I worked at Core, we went to a comp in Vegas, me and one of the coaches, Dan, and he had hurt one of his shoulders. So he did the 20K, and he did like 7 minutes straight on one arm until and I was like, and that was I can't imagine a 24. I don't think I would my arm would fall off.
It was intense. It was intense.
Yeah. I would love to go to the Arnold. It looks like such a cool environment. It looks
it's so much to see. So much.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so much to see. It was like, okay, there's a lot going on. A lot going on.
Yeah. Was there anything like specifically that you really liked other than like sports stuff there?
The strongman stuff. There's a couple of people in the gym where I trained at. They were competitive and stuff. And yeah, and it was what the guy said. His name was Yuri. He said like lifting kettlebell his accent. He said lifting kettlebell, lifting weights boring. Kettlebell juggling is still lifting weights, but not boring. So they need something to look at. So we're like not to be lead, but okay, that's different.
I would. Yeah. How did you like to prep for that competition? Did you like do the same set sequence like forever?
Over and over. First time I did, I almost passed out because I never went that long without stopping.
How long was it? How long is it? Like how long are those? Yeah.
The whole song? Yeah. By the time you from start
to
finish,
whole song? The whole song in My Way?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a stretch.
That's a long time. Most of my sequences are like 40 seconds.
But try it. It's really like it was really. I made like halfway. I'm like we start doing doubles consecutively. It really taxes your like
your cardio. It's a lot of, that's I'm doing straight cardio.
Doubles, not triples. So I don't even like triples. I can throw them, but I haven't built up enough confidence to throw them in a whole piece together complex yet. Which I mean, some I can do, some I can't. I'm afraid I'll drop them. So but tough.
And so how far out did you get like that sequence and started practicing it to like do?
It's funny. I said I don't need long to practice. Let me try it. I said, you need some time, dude. I did a half. It was probably about 8 weeks or so in there somewhere, but it was a longer than I thought it would be to get it together.
Yeah.
Because I got it in the beginning, I was I'm ready. And then like, no, you're not. I was like, I'm not ready. And then I was not. I want to do it without.
Well, it's like memorizing the sequence, but also like making sure you hit all of the moves as well. Like that's like, because there are a lot of times I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing, but I can't make the catch every time, that's only 30 seconds.
It's crazy.
That's wild. Yeah.
It kind of slowed practice down a little bit though.
What was that?
It slowed practice down a lot because once I did a bunch of them in a row, I said, that's all I got to do today. Just these 3 and that's it. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Is your like practice, like your training days, like legit, like just like practicing certain movements? Like you're just doing like mills or you're just doing doubles or?
How they program is like, I try to do the homework and then one day and try to put it all together when I'm all figure it out. But I try to, it's usually just, I try to stick to the plan. I start going off the course and I do what I want to do, which I can do it easier, but it doesn't make me any better.
Yeah.
I want to get you singles, the symbols. No, symbols are easy. Do something different. Like, okay, it's what I try to, in my mind, just stick to the plan and just keep going.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that you got to, for anything, you got to stick to the plan and just be consistent and practice. And I think that's the other thing when people see juggling is they don't realize like there's practice happening for a lot. Like y'all are putting in days and hours of work like every week to like make the sequences look the way they do.
When I was training for Arnold, I was doing up until I hurt my elbow. I was doing kettlebell sport too. I was doing them like alternating days, so it helps your endurance. Like, I mean, you can do a 10-minute, like a 5-minute set. Like, I can do a couple juggling moves.
Yeah,
That's not hard because that's so much harder because like there's no out. You're stuck with it for 5 minutes, and even just to hold it is. So it made it easier to segue into the bigger bundle of stuff.
Yeah, I mean it is part of sport. I guess they would definitely have to complement each other quite a bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you when your elbow feels better, do you like want to get back into sports stuff like regular sport?
Oh yeah. I mean, I might try it. It's better than it's been, but the volume alone, it might keep me alive. So I don't know if it's like I started and I can't finish it. Like, okay, now I'm further back than I was. So I mean, it's hard. I might just do jerk. I think I can probably jerk. I just can't snatch right now.
It's the catch on the drop that's like that does a little pull on the elbow. It's not a fun feeling. You're like, oh, there's that.
So it's really ones and twos not that hard, but like the volume of just the volume is just like nope, left hand not so much.
So. That's tricky. It's really hard to come back from injuries and things like that, especially like sport injuries because they're in such high rep stuff. Like when I did biathlon, I dropped my first biathlon, not the one I most recently did. I dropped the bell on like full on the top of my shoulder. Oops. I hate jerks. This is why I hate jerks so much. It was a rough set. It was like minute 8, and I had to like just keep going because I refused to put the bells down because that was also the first set of the day. And like it messed my shoulder up for a minute, so I had to spend like weeks being like, I want to go back and snatch again, but I can't like hold the bell. And I was able to like get through my snatch set just like pure willpower and like adrenaline at that point because it was a competition setting and there's people yelling and it helps a lot. But on the day-to-day I was just like doing wall angels and
trying to fix it like come on
in club circles, just trying to like make my shoulders move the way that I wanted them to move. Actually my club circles probably didn't look like that. They were like really awkward and like just like I didn't they weren't great. You do clubs as well. How did you find clubs?
COVID?
Yeah. COVID's great for finding sales and clubs.
Yeah, I found I think club first, then I got when COVID I got really off into it. I mean, I think it was Mace's first, then clubs, or one of the two. But once I started, I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like for your like the brain food you get is unreal. Like it's just the stuff you got to be one move ahead all the time. It's one move, but you just try to grease the groove of what makes your brain work, what doesn't work, and make you a better stander. I guess we'll say.
Better stander.
Yep.
That's great. Did you learn clubs from anybody specifically, or just
Zach?
Who?
Zach.
Oh, Zach.
Yeah, and I think his course.
I did too. The 1.5.
No, I took that one, and then I took the Indian club course. He has the SMF.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I learned. I did the 1.5 beginning of COVID time. I had already had night clubs, and I'd been using them because I'd gotten them from my gym when they shut down. Prior to COVID, separate issue. And I was trying to learn the snake. And I was just whacking the crap out of my arm. I was just like, wapa, like right on my arm. And I was like, I need to figure this out. So I like messaged him and he was sending videos helping me. And then he put out that course and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'll just support him and buy the course. And then once I did that, I like got it. I think it's like semi-recent, like it happened like soon. I think I like got it because I saw it like as a memory where I finally got the first time that I got it, and I like that's the face I made. I was like, oh, that's what I really like about like clubs and juggling things is when you get it and it clicks. There's this moment of you're like, yeah, I got it. This is so cool.
Like why was this hard? Like, what was I doing? Like, God, like it's like it just doesn't make sense. So it makes sense. Like it just Nope.
Club patterns are really like I always like find that the first time I do them, I don't get them. I can't. My brain doesn't like making those connections, and then like after I sleep on it a day or two, it'll just come to me, and I'll like be able to figure it out. Like some there's some sort of connection happening while I'm sleeping. That like when I pick them back up, I'm like, oh, there we
go. It's it, right? Yeah, that's true. Let it digest. Like, let it digest.
Yeah, that's like that's the thing I have to tell people, like clients and all the time. I'm like, sometimes you just have to let it lie, and also sometimes you just need to like do some more reps, and sometimes it'll cut it'll click. It's just you just gotta find what works for you and for that move. For snatching, it's usually you gotta do some reps. For flowy type things, I usually just need to let it rest for a day.
Right, like that didn't work. Not today. Like, oh, I get it.
No,
like,
no, that's not happening. It was like on Saturday I was really trying, and it's something I can do. Like the over the back one, you know, you lean forward is over the back. And I've done that move like several times, and I could not for the life of me make one single catch of that on Saturday. I was like, what is happening? I've done this for like practice and drills and a million times, and it wasn't there, and I had to just let it go. I had it. It was in my sequence when I had the plan of making it all. I was like, oh, this is gonna work. Is this gonna be great?
Like, no. I'm like, wait, but that's happened a lot. Like, I thought I had it. I don't have it today.
No, I don't have it. It happens a lot with that one specifically, the over the back one for me. I can get it some days, and it happens and it clicks and it's beautiful. I'm like, yes. And then I'll try it the next week. It's gone with the wind. I'm like, okay, I guess we're starting back over.
For me, it's scary.
The over the back one.
Elbow in the back, so like, my elbow, like, are you kidding? Just the elbow, and they got hit in the face before, so it's been I'm always like,
yeah, it's a little bit scary, and then I don't have great peripheral vision. I'm like half blind, so like it's a little bit like I don't know where the bell is. I just have to reach for it and hope that I can grab it.
It's coming in hot.
It always is. It always is. But also, you're juggling a much heavier bell than I juggle. I pretty much stick with my 8s and 10s, and you're out there slinging 16.
Well, I think 8 is competition for women.
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah.
That's the it's with a relative strength.
Yeah, I mean, compared to like all of the other lifting I do, 8 is very light for.
Oh, I bet.
Me. Yeah. but the point for juggling for me isn't like big gains. It's fun and flow and like getting to like be outside and do a thing, which is super valuable for me. It makes me stay consistent on all of my other lifting. The fact that I get to go outside and make a fool of myself in the neighborhood, and I'm sure scare hospital workers because there's a hospital behind. I can see a hospital. The windows are looking out on my street, and I'm sure that there's some nurses every Saturday waiting for me to knock myself out.
Like, she's out there again. Like she's
out there. She's gonna do it. It's nice, I feel like if anything happens to me, I could crawl to the hospital if I need to.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm good. I've not really hit myself that like hard. It's usually just my toes, honestly. Yeah. My fingers.
My knees. I've got my knees a couple of times.
One time I whacked the side of my knee. I was doing it under the leg, and I didn't get my leg up enough. And I went down. I sat there for a second, and I was like, I think that might be it for me. And then like it had like like that's it for me. And then I like went in because I was wearing leggings, so you couldn't see the bruise or whatever. And it was like the tiniest little nothing bruise. My dog has put bigger bruises on me, like doing spin moves off of me. I was like, what? I thought it was a rough day for me.
Yeah, they
Bodies are
hurt.
weird.
Oh, it sound like
Yeah,
wood.
it was like going from like overhead, so there was a lot of momentum. I
Yeah.
went,
I think like when you bend down, put your head in the cabinet, you don't know how much force is put into it. And you bend it down, it's like, oh, it's coming that hard. Like, yeah, it's coming in pretty quick.
yeah. It's the worst day. It's like stubbing your toe. Because you're just walking and you like I give up. This is my day for me. Do you have like a favorite lift at the moment that you are like really loving to do?
I don't think I do.
A least favorite lift that you hate to
do? The kettlebell sport wise?
Anything wise.
That was pretty boring. I don't do anything really. I think jerks are hard. I don't like jerks, but they're actually windmill. Oh god, my hip like it just doesn't want to bend sometimes. So it's like it's bad. It's the one side's good, but the one side, whatever the apparatus is in it doesn't want to let me go. It's like it makes me cramp up. It's like so it's. But I mean, I probably should be doing it more. That's what it told me.
Yeah, they're good for you.
Well, yeah, it's real deal.
Yeah, I love windmills though, but I have to do them. I have to do them a lot for like I do them like in like congruent with my bent press work because the windmill is just like the standing portion of the bent press. A little bit different, like depending on the like implement that I'm using, but I windmill. I also do mostly just weird lifting. So
I mean, like people say this is unconventional, but it's kind of before time, so it's not unconventional. It's just unconventional looking now, but before then, that's all people had. So it's just kind of it's not unconventional.
It's been around for forever. Like there's that video that people randomly will find, and it's like the guy from the 80s and his little like sparkly underwear doing his like, and they're heavy flips, and it's like, look, like this has been going on. I'm not doing anything new. This is old. They've been doing this like forever because it's fun.
It's a black and white TV.
If you get a bunch of people bored with a ball with a handle, what else are you gonna do but flip it? You
can do that. Like, yeah, you can. Like, okay, you don't. I guess you don't. Yeah, I was like, why are they doing that? And I said, there's no way they're juggling those kettlebells like that. And I was like, oh, it's for real weight. That's fake, but it's not fake.
No. Now you're getting those. Do you get those comments too? Like, how heavy is that? You're gonna hurt yourself. Do you get those?
No, you know what? I don't get those. It is a weird dynamic. I don't. Maybe nobody cares. I mean, I don't want to answer those questions, but it's like if you don't, everything ain't for everybody.
You're in the right. You're on the right corner of the internet. That means
it's a different dynamic for, I guess, an older guy than a younger female. I guess we'll say it's a different. Like they might think I'm old. Look, I got gray hair. It might be me. I'm like, it's not. There's no. It's an old guy group.
I don't know. Steph the other day, yesterday, she sent me a video. She was kind of popping off on TikTok, and she was getting comments being like, "That's really dangerous" on hers. I'm like, she's a grown up woman. Like she knows what she's doing. Also, I'm like, we're all adults here. Like it's okay. Like, we can just
It's all dangerous.
Yeah. That's what my thought is too. Is like any lifting can be dangerous if you're like bad enough at it, Like I could hurt myself forever doing a deadlift and doing a back squat,
Right.
And if I'm doing it badly enough, I can ruin my life for the rest of it.
Right.
If I really but like as long as you're doing like progressive builds to the things that you're doing and like not like I've never recommended anyone pick up a kettlebell and like, all right, let's do some over the shoulders.
No.
Go ahead.
No, you have to want to juggle. You want to juggle? No, you don't. No. You have to want to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. Like, I want to jam my
You have
fingers.
to want to do it, and you have to like want to be okay with and like be okay with failing a million times before you're good at it too.
That's
And people are very afraid of failing.
to be DFL, as they like to say, DFL. No, there must be DFL.
What is DFL?
Dead fucking last. Nobody
Oh.
wants to be that. No, I want to be the best. You ain't gonna be the best at this one. So I'm DFL a lot. Like, I suck. You're gonna suck, but that's
Sucking's the first step to being good at something. You gotta suck before you can be good.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. You gotta. yeah. It's just that's always like, oh, how do you start this? You start with swings, man. Like that's what you start with.
That's right. With swings, prerequisite. Yeah, you probably should know how to snatch a little bit, and jerk it, and clean the basics. I mean, you got to get there first.
You got. If you can't swing, clean, snatch, you probably shouldn't be flipping a bell.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And that's usually because I get like whenever my videos kind of like get more reach than they normally do, ask the questions like, how do I do this? How do I get started? And I was like, can you swing a kettlebell? Well, no. Okay, we'll start there. Like that.
No. Then right, don't do it.
Then you should not be doing this. I can't stop you, but like you're going to hurt yourself if you try. Right. And I will not be responsible for that. Yeah, I was like, hey, can you snatch a kettlebell? Do you know how like does your kettlebells float when you
right?
When you get that top of your swing? Well, no. Okay, well then you gotta get that first. It's boring to start.
You're right. It's like I heard that it was Colin. And I was like, man, this guy is incredible. And I said, oh, I had no idea how much I think I found you, then him, and then you start reaching out. But there's not that big of a community that does it here still. It just kind of you see, oh, you know. There's kind of but there's not like, whoa, okay, all right. But then you get there when one day.
Yeah, that's why I like our little juggling corner of the internet. It's really nice. We're all like rooting for each other. You don't see that all the time in a lot of I don't like on Instagram or something. It's more competitive, and we're all like, yeah, we did it.
It's something new. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like our vibes. We have good vibes.
It's a evolution.
Yeah, we're all doing our best and dropping the bells a bunch and picking them back up and doing it all over again every single week and over again. Yeah, it's like we're just and the people, and then you come on and you're like, yeah, guys, this is just part of it. There's lots of drops and fails and
right. It takes a while. I mean, I think I've been almost at it 2 years now, and in the beginning, I kind of was I do a little bit here, and then that's not working right, and that's I'm gonna just go in it and then try to just really you got to dig in and get at it. I try to do it not nonchalant, but I can do it a couple days a week and work on some stuff, but I couldn't really get better without going at it more aggressive. So what it's kind of. Yeah. And now the weather's nice.
And now weather's nice. That really helps. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
No, we've had some rainstorms. I mean, our weather is stupid. It's Colorado. Yeah. I think I saw exactly the first time I saw it was at a competition. Was that like a Cali Open? I saw Oksana juggle.
Oh yeah. Jay. Jay was there too.
With Jay, and I saw Jay. Yeah. Jay doesn't really juggle anymore, but he was like the first. Him and his wife, Jen. They both were like super helpful when I first started juggling because it was basically just him at that point. When I first started doing juggling, it was just Jay. So another guy who stopped juggling too. It was Jeff, probably, and he doesn't juggle at all. He doesn't post on Instagram anymore. And Tanya's been juggling for forever. KB lifter out of Sweden.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so those were the first people that I interacted with that were doing it, and that helped me do the things. But I didn't really do a whole lot of I juggled, but it wasn't juggle. Like it was not good for a really long time. But once like COVID hit, I kind of like found my groove because I was at home all the time.
Right.
So like what else was I gonna do? When I trained in a gym, I was dropping the bell all the time. I was like, I can't really
Like,
like I don't want to like ruin.
Right.
Especially the gym I worked at, like they had just renovated. So I was like, I don't want to mess up their nice floor by dropping it 50,000 times. I would have liked to. It would have been nice to like juggle in there, but I had to like I'd take their bells and go over to the park and do my thing at the Bird Park or whatever in San Diego and hang out in the little corner next to the street and do my juggling and dance the Space Jam and juggle on the corner of the road.
What's she doing over there? Like, oh, she's doing something. I don't know. You know what's going on.
I would do that. I would bring out my mace and I would bring out my rope for like rope flow. I was just doing weird stuff, probably causing traffic jams with people looking at me being, that lady, she's over.
Like, why is she swinging that? Like, why is she not jumping the rope? Why is she not? She just jump it. Like,
I know. And that was like the beginning of that because one of my coworkers works. He still does. He worked with David Weck, so like he like kind of brought the ropes over to our gym. So I was like kind of in that like initial like rope flow community. Like he made these little crappy ones. Like they're just like out of random. I have one from Slush too, but yeah, they're.
Stop.
It's just, you know.
Right. Yeah, ropes. What do you do with those? Like ropes. Like ropes. Like
A little. What is it? Dragon rules. I haven't done a lot. It's not really conducive in this room. I hit everything. Everything when I do. It gets a little bit sketchy. I'm like, man, I don't want to like ruin these walls or knock over or knock down a flag.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
You need more space than you think you do. You need more room. Like they're gonna. I think ropes. You need more room than I thought I did. Like I gotta be spaced out. Like you're gonna hit something. Like yeah.
Because they just can kind of go wherever. Like with a mace, I know exactly like what my range is with my mace. And with my kettlebells or my clubs, like I can kind of like do this and like be like, okay, I know exactly how far I can go with each of these movements. But with the rope, it just does what it wants. I have no control over that.
They hurt.
I've watched
again. Like that was. Yeah, I think I use rope now more for warm up. Yeah, then I mean I can.
Yeah, that's what I use them for.
They're fun to get you like kind of loosened up.
Yeah, that's what I used to when I my other room had like a little bit, the space was different in there, so I could do a little bit more, but maybe I can bring them back outside because it's starting to be nice enough that I can do outside stuff again without like hating my life. But yeah, I really like them because they just sort of like they make your shoulders move. Same thing with clubs though. I use the clubs a lot to warm myself up or cool down. Especially because my shoulders get tight a lot with the lifting I do with that pressing and snatching. This is where it's always sore, like lats to shoulders to your traps. I'm always so like if I hit some club swings, it really helps like open me up again. How there's another more coming up on the end here. How can people find you? Can people work with you? Like how we find you on the internet?
Instagram, that's it.
Instagram, just at House of Clubs.
Or people that see me on the street, like, oh, you do that, I do that, and then we got a couple people that do it. One at a time.
Yeah, find you on House of Clubs. Do you have a website or anything?
Nope. I'm someone came up in school where there was no internet. Like you had to like find somebody who does this, like you do that, like So it's just trying to keep it one at a time. Who I can get.
That's fair. It's hard to keep track of everything all the time. And
it's
a lot of work.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else you like want to like plug or promote while we're here, or you good?
No, I think I want to coin this phrase: the mastering of conditioning in a square. That's
Perfect. I love it. Conditioning in a square. That's going to be the title.
yep.
This
Yeah, like
episode.
what do you mean? Like, oh, I get it, because kettlebell sport, you don't even move. You need
No,
to try two and
that's
move
cardio.
on. So,
That's like really why like it was like when I first start well not when I first started doing it, but when I was doing a lot in quarantine, it was really nice because I could do it in my tiny room,
right.
no problem. Like not gonna hit the roof. If I hit the roof, that's bad. And I can do it in this little space and nothing, no
Yeah, and it
problems.
works.
Except for yeah, and it works. Jerks aren't great because I'm on the second floor, but
Oh
whatever.
yeah, yeah. Boom, boom. Right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just my dog and husband downstairs, so
You're like,
they can get
what?
over it.
What? Yeah, they're probably like, what? What's
I
that sound?
every now and then I drop a bell, and my husband like runs up. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine."
Like, it's okay, right? Right. If they hit the ground, they're very scared. Like, boom. Like, oh, that's like the sound of
Yeah.
the thud. What was that? Everything all right? Like,
Yeah, one time I was trying to flip my 24 and I dropped it, and he was very concerned. And I was
like,
like,
uh-oh.
"Sorry."
Right. Ooh, right.
I know. I also have my treadmill up here, and that's it's a little bit loud when running on it, but it is what it is.
Boom, boom, boom.
What was that?
Like the tremble, boom, 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 when you're like
Yeah,
the sound of
that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yep.
It's like hopefully the people attached to me can't hear, but like I can hear everything that's happening in their house. So like,
What
I
are you
think it
doing?
balances out that. What?
No, it's probably like, what are you doing over there? Like, it's always different sound,
Oh yeah, there's always sound and whatever. She swears she can't hear me, but I think it's just because she doesn't want me to hear, them fighting
Right.
all of the time.
Right.
Uh, but I will have your Instagram link so people can find you. You're so awesome. I love your juggling sequences and just your content. You're excellent. And I'm really happy I got to talk to you because I haven't ever got to actually talk to you before.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. It's the first time ever doing it. Thank you.
Yeah, I've never it's the thing. Like I interact with all these cool people on Instagram and like we've been talking like interacted with your content and like followed each other for at least a couple years at this point,
Right.
and
Right.
I've never never talked to half the people, so I was like, let me just talk to all the people. Let me just talk to people I think are cool. So here we are. And I can talk about whatever I want because it's my podcast. I made it up.
Right.
So I'll make sure I have everything linked. People can find you, and we'll talk later.
And that was my conversation with John Miller. He is really wonderful and a really excellent juggler. So if you're not following him on Instagram, you should be. He's at House of Clubs _ and he's legit super awesome. So definitely check him out. He does really cool like competition style juggling, very different from the style of juggling that I do. So really awesome. Check it out. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and we will be back in a couple of weeks, back to our normal recording schedule or release schedule. And awesome. I'll see you next time.